I was told it don't back up. Darkness all in my veins, but I won't be a fake up. Y'all been tripping, living life in restriction. I might slip out and make up, but I won't be a victim.
I'm in the 7, I'm gonna act up. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. Yep. I'ma need you to back up. Spilling the tea, you stirring the cup. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. Yep. I'm in the 7, I'm gonna act up. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. Yep. I'ma need you to back up. Spilling the tea, you stirring the cup. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. Yep. I'ma need you to back up.
Is you thinking I'm jumping and leaking the leak immediately? Show up this evening and wait till you sleeping. Kick to the open, I'm scanning for motion. I'm just trying to make all my pockets obese. Done with I just want the Lucci. So me and all of my poochies can eat. For his loose change, take his boo thing out the PF chains and take him K, get a steak or something. Something looking at me like I'm opaque or something. Don't I look like Drake or something? Something better tell mankind Undertaker coming.
Back up,
I was told it don't back up. Darkness all in my veins, but I won't be a fake up. Y'all been tripping, living life in restriction. I might slip out and make up, but I won't be a victim.
I'm in the 7, I'm gonna act up. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. Yep. I'ma need you to back up. Spilling the tea, you stirring the cup. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. Yep. I'm in the 7, I'm gonna act up. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. Yep. I'ma need you to back up. Spilling the tea, you stirring the cup. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. Yep. I'ma need you to back up. Come from off the top, the flow is hot, I got you shot. Come from off the top, you know I be smarter than Spock. Come from off the top, the flow is hot, I got you shot. Come from off the top, come from off the top.
Can't keep up, you too slow. You just watch, I control. I take half.
When you think of NBA 2K20, you think of rep. And today we're joined by two of the top rep players in the game. I know they're ready. Alexis, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Well, let's introduce Poor Boy Sin and Chalk. Gentlemen, welcome to 2K TV.
Appreciate it.
So let's start with you, Poor Boy. What has this experience been like? You're someone who is known in the community for playing a ton of NBA 2K. What's this experience been like with NBA 2K20?
It's been a great experience.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA. It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Okay, sports fans, here we go. Tonight, the Brooklyn Nets taking the floor against the Memphis Grizzlies at their home, FedExForum. And for Memphis, this is their first time facing off this season. Last year, they split the season series at a game apiece. Kenny, every year it seems like the standings early on look very different by season's end.
Overachieving teams often start fast, and they get some effort wins. And then it kind of evens out. But, talent catches up eventually.
And overconfident teams sometimes start slow. They find out they're not as good as they thought. But once you get humbled, tend to play with a higher sense of urgency.
Great basketball philosophy from the Diesel and the Jet.
I appreciate that.
Just humbled to be in between you two guys.
As long as you're not overachieving, because you'll be confident.
Here's Kevin Harlan.
Well, you can't help but notice the high style of the Grizzlies as they came through the tunnel earlier on, all set to take the stage in front of their loyal fans. And the game arrival, sponsored by Express. Dress like a pro. A beautiful evening in downtown Memphis, Tennessee. Our setting tonight, the FedExForum. Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for the latest presentation of our NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. Also joining us from the sidelines, David Aldridge. While we get a break, let's now take a look at the October standings out east. Taking a look at Brooklyn, they're 6th best right now, looking to make a move up in the standings.
And right now for Brooklyn, they've done a good job staying relevant this season. I mean, I was concerned they'd suffer a drop-off, but give them credit. They've hung in here in this playoff race.
The resiliency has been crucial for this team. Anytime it looks like they may start to drag a little bit, they've picked it back up and stayed in the hunt.
And David Aldridge is standing by for our pregame report. David, good evening.
Well, it was long rumored, and after 2 titles in 3 years, Kevin Durant chose to leave the Warriors and blaze a new path. He'll miss this season while rehabbing from his Achilles tear, but there are no complaints from the fans or his new teammates. For a player of KD's caliber, it's worth the wait. Kevin?
A momentous decision, DA. Thank you. Well, the one thing I love seeing in these early games, seeing the wrinkles that the stars have added, the new technique or the new move they've added, Doris, during their games they played over the summer.
It feels, Kevin, like if you are not improving over the summer in the NBA, you are falling behind. Case in point, right, is the big men in the NBA. Look at guys like Brook Lopez and Marc Gasol, now able to stretch their game out to three-point territory. So important to keep growing.
So the Nets starting 5. They've got Kyrie Irving. Jared Allen is out there with Taurean Prince. Then there's Karis LeVert, and it's Harris in at the 2 spot. And for the Grizzlies, Morant and Brooks manning the backcourt. Crowder in at the 3 with Jackson Jr. playing the 4. And it's Valanciunas in at the 5 spot. Now here's Morant. Outside Crowder takes the 3. Allen with the rebound. And here's Brooklyn, and this is the first season matchup for them against the Grizzlies.
And just couldn't make the most of their meetings last year. Ended up splitting the season series.
Brooks against Harris. Pass to Jackson. Now here's Morant. Here's Valanciunas. Excellent D there from Allen. Here's Harris. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
When you drive to the cup, you do it with a purpose, and Joe Harris mixing up his attack right there.
Now here's Morant. He's covered by Irving. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. And that one's good, Morant.
Wow, they finally get it to go down on their 4th try.
For Brooklyn, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Irving drives in. He drains the quick shot.
How quickly Kyrie squares up so quickly after a dribble, even on pull-ups. That is difficult to guard.
And there's the pass to Brooks. Shoots. They get it again. Valanciunas. Excellent D there from Allen.
It seemed like he changed his mind halfway through the layup, tried to go to something else, and flat out choked it.
This guy is such a good all-around player. Karis LeVert sharpening his court awareness and finding his open teammates.
Here's Morant following the basket by Kyrie Irving. Valanciunas dishes to Morant. Basket counts.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
And Greg, you know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Now here's Morant. Launches it. No good on that one. And it's the Nets taking it the other way. Here's Prince. And the layup's good off the glass.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
And I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
Here's Morant after Taurean Prince's bucket.
You see the court awareness Morant has. Outstanding at keeping his teammates involved with good looks.
Irving can't hit.
Boy, that's one he wishes he could have back, especially against soft defense.
Outside Jackson. He kicks it to Morant. Harris on the double team. Brooks the pass to Morant. Memphis moving it around. Nailed from three-point land. Jackson's got 5 now.
You know, we talk all the time about how important it is to have bigs who can stretch the floor. An example there.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Morant dishes to Jackson. A 3-ball. And it's Morant missing. For Brooklyn, they've gone 5 of 9 from the field here in the first. Nobody near Allen. Offensive rebound, Nets.
Well, Joe Harris known as a shooter, but make no mistake, this guy will mix it up on the glass. Great offensive rebound right there.
The Grizzlies trail by 4. To the paint, here's Brooks. And the Grizzlies tack on 2 more.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence. And you look at the cast-offs that have found success in Brooklyn, Doris, a great part of the Nets story.
And I think what the players appreciate is the team that gave them their first real shot to play significant minutes. That buy-in and urge to prove themselves a part of what makes their culture special.
And going up strong inside demonstrates confidence. Morant not afraid to get physical. And purely from a physical standpoint, Ja Morant has it all. The height, the long arms, the frame to put on more weight. And few players are more explosive athletically.
That one is off. And with Morant, you not only get the physical attributes, Greg, you get the mental toughness and awareness.
Yeah, this kid loves to compete. The bigger the game, the bigger he plays. I think we're looking at a potential all-NBA performer when it's all said and done.
And he sinks the second.
The combination of scoring and passing at that PG position makes Morant valuable. An all-around player with a bright future.
The Grizzlies trail by 3. Inside, and the dunk by Valanciunas.
That pass had to be thrown not only in the right spot, but at the right time.
Here's Irving. Tries again. That one's no good. That makes him 1 for 2.
Never easy to stop this guy at the rim, but that is a beautiful contest right there.
Crowder, the pass to Jackson.
The Grizzlies have been a winning team for most of the last decade. Injuries snapped their playoff streak back in 18, but the silver lining, a top draft pick they used to select Jaren Jackson.
Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead. And they now lead as the free throw drops for him. For Brooklyn, they've gone 7 of 15 from the field to this point. Irving drives in. Yes, that goes in. Irving's got 11. And in his rookie season, Jaren Jackson, the youngest player in the league, he seemed NBA ready.
And already he impacts the game on both ends of the floor. A ton of upside with this young man. He's already helping the Grizz win games.
What an aggressive mindset in this period. He's starting to take over.
Grizzlies have gone 6 of 13 from the field, just under the 50% mark. Knocked loose. One-on-one fast break. Goes up the baseline. Again, the Nets for 2.
Then you can see the willingness of Karis LeVert to get out in transition and create opportunity.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Chicago.
Scoring efficiency was an issue in that one. Took them too many shots to get their points.
I think, Greg, it was a lot of bad decisions leading to a lot of poor looks. Patience was not their best quality in that basketball game.
Salsa with that dip. I'm just trying to see you dance. Salsa. Whoa. You know. Hate on low, but we fly high. You know. Talk is cheap. Free Wi-Fi. Whoa. Heard they trying to steal away. Cut it out. Spicy mommy's on the way. Tell my wife she let away. I cut it out. Hey, talk to me nice. Show you what deep in the power. Whoa. Pipe down. First we shut them down, then we open up shop. Trying to stop for the way.
Now let's check out a breakdown looking at some stats for Jared Allen. Good season for him last year. 8th in field goal percentage and a top 15 ranking in blocks per game, supplying that backline protection that is so key to a great defense.
And you know, back to his tremendous efficiency shooting last season, top 10 in the league, his dead-eye shooting creates so many opportunities for that offense. Down low, here's Prince, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Okay, Jared Allen, we see you making that look for a big man. That's a pretty pass.
Here's Jackson, and the dunk by Jackson.
My goodness, he is such a great dunker.
Greg, a high riser, no doubt about it. Here's Irving. And another one in the scoring column for him. He's 7 of 10 from the field.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
And here's Morant. He has 5. Pass to Jackson. 6 to shoot. To the paint. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. That's 7 points for Ja Morant.
And for a great shooter, Morant really works for high percentage shots, loves to take it inside.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Dishes it to Jackson. A floater, and it's good on the way in. Jackson's got 11 points.
And really, the scoring this quarter has been just off the charts, doing all he can to bring them back.
Well, Kyrie Irving has such a good sense of when his teammates are going to create an opportunity, and he puts the pass on time and on target.
Here's Morant. Jared Allen making his last shot. Passes it to Valanciunas. Good, nice job down low.
Well, efficient scoring in the post, just one of the reasons Valanciunas is out there.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. And last season, Jonas Valanciunas averaging the fewest minutes of his career. Greg, at the same time, he was playing the best basketball of his career.
I mean, his scoring per minute through the roof. Rebounding at a career high level. He can dominate inside, especially at that offensive end.
Empezamos a pie y ahora andamos en el tren. Vamos a calentar, baby, tú. No se quiere olvidar, no quiere recordar, baby.
Some changes for Memphis. Anderson, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Clark comes in for Crowder. And Tyus Jones subbed in for Morant. Brooklyn leading by 5. And out of bounds as the Grizzlies gain possession. Here on the 2K leaderboard are the rebounding leaders from a season ago. DeAndre Jordan, 3rd.
What a season he had in the paint. I mean, his rebounding numbers really mind-boggling. Who wouldn't love to have a guy like that?
Memphis is gone, just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. And Dinwiddie over to help. Dinwiddie covering. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
A beautiful reverse layup. And the Nets lead by 5.
Well, just tremendous body control by Spencer Dinwiddie, able to adjust to the defender's contact.
They get a hand on it. Jackson kicks to Jones. Outside for Jackson. Clock at 4. Here's Clark. And that's collected by DeAndre Jordan. Nets leading by 5. To the left wing. From about 19 feet. And again, it's Brooklyn converting.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Outside, Jones. And here we go. Brooklyn fast break. And he finishes the break with a lay-in. Temple's got his second bucket of the night.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration, a turnover, and an easy bucket in transition.
Anderson lays it up and banks it in.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Here's Jordan. Again, the Nets for 2.
Wow, DeAndre Jordan working the mid-range. If he adds that aspect, turn the lights out.
And it's Jones with the ball for the Grizzlies. They trail by 9 points. Back to Jackson. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Mwaba. Again, the Nets for 2.
In the mid-range, rarely the hallmark of efficiency in today's NBA, but it is on point tonight.
Outside Jackson. Fires the 3. Kept alive. Anderson can't get it to go. Brooklyn leading by 11. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
And David Nwaba picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
His first personal foul. Third team foul.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
No good from Clark.
And you know, you can't impact a shot that close any better than he did on that possession.
Boy, whether he blocks it or simply alters it, the result is pretty much the same.
I'll tell you, it's one thing to do this at home, another to do it in a hostile environment.
Boy, just sheer dominance, the ability to step into enemy territory and flat out take over. This is impressive. Well, that's a case where a guy's trying to make a play, trying to take it up strong, but the defense was ready.
Here's Jordan. And good. He got the English that time as it falls. And the Nets lead by 17. Allen outside. 36 seconds left to play in the first. Pass to Caboclo. Anderson right side. And finished off by Anderson.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg. Dinwiddie, again, the Nets for 2.
Building up a big early lead, they have taken charge of this game.
And they've been doing it largely at the offensive end, Greg. If the defense does not adjust, this could be a blowout.
Here's Clark. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Anderson outside. Shoots a 3. Brooklyn with the rebound. With 2 seconds left. That one, no good. And so it's the Brooklyn Nets out in front by 17 points at the end of the quarter. They kept the tempo quick and the defense on its heels, and it's gotten them up big. We'll get right back to the action when we return.
Just can't wait till I get my Yeah. Just watch when I get me some. Go ahead.
One of the league's best point guards, Kyrie Irving, had this to say about his competition.
2011, I came into a league where the point guard position was still being revolutionized, and now guys are solidifying that spot every single year. There are young guys coming in, but now we have established point guards that are franchise-changing point guards. And for me, having that competitive drive every single game, I know I'm going against an elite point guard every single game. So I think that now coming into the league, it's a lot different than it was before.
Some say, Greg, a golden age at the point guard position.
Yeah, and Irving right there with the best of them. He embraces the challenge.
That's foul.
And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And the Nets have been rolling right along here, haven't they?
The offense firing on all cylinders. They dominated that first period.
That's exactly the start you want. You take complete command. Now you've got to maintain that focus.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. Setting the floor for the Nets. They've got Karuch. Garrett Temple is out there with Spencer Dinwiddie. Then there's DeAndre Jordan. And it's Mwaba in at small forward. First one falls for him. Doris, you and I enjoy discussing pure scorers, great shooters, but guys that can score a myriad of ways. Give us a couple of names that we don't always hear about that really impressed you.
Well, one young man who I think has got an offensive game that is really continuing to grow and is quite beautiful already is Zach LaVine. But probably the best example, Kev, would have to be the multi-time winner of the Six-Man Award, and that's Sweet Lou Williams. This guy can score against any defense. He's great in pick and roll. He has become a better playmaker, but Lou Williams is a problem to guard.
And as people will say, he is a professional scorer.
That's perfect, yes.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Jaren Jackson Jr. is the son of an NBA player. And I'm so old, I covered his dad in college. Growing up, his parents let him find his passion, but the game was always in his genes. Jackson Jr. said, "I've always prided myself on being more than just a basketball player, but I can't deny my laser focus on the sport." Kevin, he's following in his father's footsteps, but looking to create his own legacy.
Terrific mentor, but he's just getting started, David. Thank you. Temple gets the bucket. Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. Here's Clark. He's still scoreless so far in this one, but they get it back. Anderson passes to Allen, and it's Allen slamming it down.
Well, known for being a terrific passer, he shows you right there. Case in point.
Here's Temple, and the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. Anderson's got 4 rebounds in this game. There's the pass to Jones. Here's Clark. Kicks it out to Jones. Drills it from outside.
And guys, we talk all the time about making the extra pass. Clark there proving how important that concept is.
Dinwiddie with the bucket.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
Greg, to me, this has simply stated been a complete lack of defensive attention and focus all night long.
So it's Brooklyn now, following the missed shot by Tyus Jones.
Well, this is where measurements don't tell the whole story. Clark is a tremendous shot blocker despite having an average wingspan.
The shot off that time. The Nets go the other way with it. They led the game at 1 point by 20. And then Clark slams it in.
That's a double whammy, guys.
That's right. A great defensive play, then the emphatic stuff.
Let's see if that serves as a momentum builder. What a great sequence for this group.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Jones against Dinwiddie. Over in the corner, Allen. Lock at 6. Pass to Caboclo. Shot, high post. Anderson. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. Anderson's got 8 points.
I'll tell you, what a night. He has been efficient. He's been strong. Unfortunately, they're still fighting an uphill battle.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. And out of UCLA, forward Kyle Anderson. Some call him slow-mo. Why is that?
Well, I mean, not the most athletic player. It's his size and IQ for the game, though, that makes him so effective.
Some changes here for the Grizzlies. Jay Crowder's checked in for Anderson. Dylan Brooks comes in for Clark. And it's Morant in for Jones. And a new group in for the Nets. Prince is checked in for Rodions Kurucs. Karis LeVert comes in for David Nwaba. Harris is checked in for Garrett Temple. And Irving subbed in for Dinwiddie.
You wonder what the defender who has to check Kyrie Irving on a nightly basis is thinking, because when he's dialed in, there's no checking him.
Now here's Morant. 7 points in the game. Here's LeVert. That one falls. His second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
Morant kicks to Brooks. That 3 off the mark.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
2 points. That one goes.
Boy, there's a fluidity to his jump shot. Karis LeVert coming through for his team in the mid-range.
Now here's Morant. Outside Crowder. Passes it to Morant. The 3. DeAndre Jordan grabs the miss. Jordan's got 6 rebounds now in the game. And it's Prince penetrating.
I'll tell you, that vertical ability he has puts him in select company in NBA power forwards. May not have great size, but boy, he plays bigger than it.
Brooks outside. To the middle. Here's Morant. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. 9 points for Ja Morant.
Well, defensively, to me, you've got to do a better job communicating once the screen comes.
Irving's shot is good.
I love that Kyrie Irving doesn't settle for something on the perimeter. He goes right to the cup.
Now here's Morant. He's guarded closely, and Jordan sends it back. And they'll keep possession. And he recovers it. Yep, it counts.
Just a grinder. Always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass, and that's one of the things he brings to the table.
Here's Irving. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
To the inside. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
That's Jay Crowder demonstrating how strong he is. He's dominating the defense with his ability to play through contact.
And out of Marquette, Jay Crowder. Greg, a sturdy two-way wing player.
A great system player and glue guy. He had his best years with the Celtics. On the final year of this contract, a great value considering what he brings to the table.
Free throw good, Crowder. And Jay Crowder ends every post with the hashtag, "It all started in the driveway." Doris, he knows just how far he's come.
No doubt. Jay Crowder said back then he was always the youngest guy on the court with no fouls called. That is how you develop into a competitor.
Now here's Morant. Following the miss by Kyrie Irving. Wow, that was a strong dunk.
That is nice.
Oh, that's worthy of a top 10 highlight reel play. Valanciunas letting everybody in the house know he's got some skill.
Now here's Irving. 26 points for him last game against New York.
The other thing, he really changed the pace of the game when you consider how many free throws he shot. Drawing fouls is an art, and really he has mastered that part of the game.
With the handle and the acceleration, Morant moves around the court with the ball on a string.
It's Prince on the wing, puts it up from 15, and Valanciunas pulls it down.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
And they should, because it's when you start turning down that kind of look that your offense can start to bog down a bit.
A nice shot by LeVert.
And Kev, LeVert is very skilled. This guy is a capable scorer who will let it fly if you give him room.
Tipped away and stolen by Irving. From 18 feet away, and it's Brooklyn scoring again.
Well, they're calling his number time and time again, and he is delivering.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies.
Boy, you talk about the all-time great below-the-rim finishers. Kyrie Irving is on that list. He can use either hand, so much English. This guy is tough.
And Memphis making a change here. Jackson's checked in, and the Nets making a change here as well. Allen's checked in. Morant with a wide-open look. And again, Memphis no good. Doris, as great a scorer as he is, Kyrie Irving doesn't draw a ton of fouls.
Kevin, I think that has everything to do with his elusivity. This is a young man who can finish with either hand, can get separation on any defender. This is the one thing you'd say about Kyrie Irving. He does not initiate contact around the rim. He's been a marksman this period. Their shot mechanics finally in sync.
Now here's Morant, covered by Irving. They grab their own miss. Valanciunas, good.
They are just killing them on the interior.
And here are the Nets to the paint. It's stolen by Valanciunas. The stupendous finish in traffic.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
LeVert. The second chance effort, and the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
Well, it looks like he has put that rough first quarter in the rear view. He's starting to cook here in the second. Boy, picking Jared Allen, number 22, back in 2017 has paid off for the Nets. This guy is proven already in his early 20s to be an NBA caliber starting center.
One shot.
And Jared Allen grew up in the Austin area and played near his home at the University of Texas.
Yeah, Kev, just one season with the Longhorns. He really came into the league considered a project, but boy, his development is truly ahead of schedule.
Down low, here's Valanciunas, and it's Valanciunas finishing it off.
Well, Kevin, to steal a line from you, up high and down hard, Jonas Valanciunas. Go ahead, big fella.
Drains it from beyond the arc. Harris has got his third basket of the night right there.
over the taller defender. This is why you have to stay connected to shooters on the perimeter.
Today's player is not intimidated by size. You even give them a sliver of a window, and they're going to make that shot.
Ooh, that kind of defense, it's almost as if they're just standing there.
Well, for the most part, they were just standing still, and you've got an easy 2 points.
Yeah, and despite his restrictions offensively, you still have to close off the lane or he'll burn you.
Looking to end his cold spell, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
And this kid, JA Morant, came out of nowhere, under-recruited in high school, showed some promise in that first year of college, but boy, did he blow up.
Two.
And the first one drops. And Morant really impacts the game in every area.
It's incredible, Kevin. He gives you the points, the assists, the rebounds. But then you look at the box score and you also see a block, a couple steals. And I like that he shoots a high percentage at the line.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. And so Allen will bring it up for Brooklyn. Next up will be a home game matched up against the Pacers. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. Here's Morant. 13 points in the game. Pass to Valanciunas. To the middle. And Morant gets it to go on the assist from Valanciunas. And that's 15 points for JA Morant. Here's Irving. The Grizzlies pull it in. Valanciunas has got 6 rebounds now in the game. Inside. Prince with the defensive effort.
Not a lot falling for him in this quarter. He's got to stay aggressive, try to break through, see if you can get an easy opportunity.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
We call that a great contest. You know this is something he brings to the table, the ability to anchor your defense.
Now here's Morant. Jarrett Allen unable to get his last shot to go. 5 on the clock. They get a hand on it. Irving with it. Guarded now by Jackson. Here's Allen. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. Irving's got 5 assists tonight.
What a nice, assertive finish from Jarrett Allen. You've got the size and the strength. Make use of it.
Morant passes to Valanciunas. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. This is his first trip to the line tonight.
Jonas Valanciunas. 2 shots.
And he makes the first.
Look, Kevin, you know this. There's a long history of great players coming out of Lithuania, and Valanciunas right there with the best of them. Remember, back in 2012, this guy was the MVP of the Lithuanian Basketball League.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for Jaren Jackson. Clark comes in for Jay Crowder, and Jones subbed in for Morant. So he gets them both. Greg, a new look roster for the Grizzlies. They got a lot more athletic this past summer.
Well, JA Morant and Brandon Clark, their first-round picks, 2 of the more explosive players in the draft. The Grizzlies last in the league in pace last season. They may have cause to accelerate that tempo this year.
And so here's Memphis, following the bucket by the Nets. Here's Clark. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow.
I'll tell you, no matter what he does, he can't find his rhythm, and you get the sense he's starting to press a little bit.
There's 38 seconds left in the second quarter. Now here's Jones. Anderson outside. Three-pointer on the way. And that comes off the assist by Jones. Jones has got 3 assists now in this one. Here's Dinwiddie. Anderson with the block. The pass to Clark. And it's Clark slamming it down.
Quick off the floor and powerful. Clark loves to attack that rim.
And it's good for 2.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive style.
Well, he's attacking, he's forcing the issue, and that's simply stated a terrific play.
What a performance for Kyrie Irving. He has been the story for the Brooklyn Nets. He has been a determined scorer today. 29 points altogether for him, and I think there's more where that came from. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks a lot. Kyrie, what was your plan for tonight?
I was trying to get assists in the beginning, and I'm just having a good time out here. Got it going a little bit. Enjoying myself.
Okay, Kyrie, we'll see you in the second half. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
After one half of play, it's been a one-sided affair. Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. What a game it's been for Kyrie Irving. He had 29 points, 3 steals, and 5 assists. He's definitely heated up over the last few games, and we're seeing some of that same recipe here tonight. And from what we saw so far from the Nets, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
We saw what you already know. Kyrie's an outstanding scorer. But lately, he's also taken a lot of pride in his defense, made a great impact on the glass. He's competing in every phase of the game now.
And Shaq, let's get your input on the Grizzlies.
Well, their sloppy play really surprised me, especially at the turnovers. No matter who they had out there, they never seem to be on the same page. Their only hope is to make every possession count, and that means taking care of the ball.
And that's all we have for now. Tell the folks goodbye, Shaq. Tell the folks goodbye,
Goodbye.
Kenny. Goodbye. Go to Kevin Harlan.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. You look at Kyrie Irving in this game, he has been everywhere.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far, unstoppable.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. Now, here's Valanciunas. Crowder in at the 3 with Jackson Jr. playing the 4. Morant and Brooks manning the backcourt. And it's Valanciunas in at the 5 down low. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Grizzlies will take it.
And let's take a quick look now at some stats here for Harris. Last season's performance for him. Last season, he averaged 13 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Well, fans of this team will take this kind of production from him without hesitation.
I tell you, he has been a solid contributor. They have called his number, and he has delivered for them.
First team foul.
Now here's Morant. Defense is right there. Pass to Crowder. This one for 3. Offensive rebound. Valanciunas has been just uncontainable. 72%.
Oh, you gotta love his aggressiveness to finish inside.
Well, his leaping ability gives him a great advantage. The Grizzlies shooting 51% from the field. They'll take that. And Prince comes to help. Jackson against Prince. Left side, Crowder. Morant passes to Jackson. Basket, good. Jackson's got 13. course, you can't help but notice the teams are shooting earlier in the shot clock. One theory being the faster you shoot, the more possessions you get.
Well,
and the numbers would speak to that.
No doubt, Kevin. And the reality is, for announcers and for fans, that breakneck pace makes it more exciting for us. One NBA coach told me this past year that your field goal percentage in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock gives you your best opportunity to make it. And the longer that shot clock goes on, the more your field goal percentage dips. So, hey, good for us, good for the fans, good for the teams.
And that's because the defense has a chance to settle, correct?
Exactly right.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Kenny Atkinson, who's a native of Long Island, now has his dream job, coaching the Brooklyn Nets. And he doesn't need praise or recognition. Instead, he's fueled by the fear of failure. He says, I always feel like I'm one banana peel away from never being in the NBA again. Kevin, he's got his team playing with that same determination.
David, he sure does. Thank you very much. And the dunk by Valanciunas.
Boy, Kevin, what a game it's been for Jonas Valanciunas. It hasn't mattered what the defense has thrown at him. He's continued to deliver on the offensive end.
And that one's good, Irving.
And they're leaning on the mid-range right now. That's 6 of their last 10 from that area.
Now here's Morant. He's covered by Irving. And it's Morant missing.
I still can't believe that one didn't fall.
Rips down the breakaway slam.
Quick job of getting up the floor and creating early offense.
You don't give the defense any chance to set up. Sometimes you just love an easy look.
And this is something Morant does well. His knack for knowing when to make that feed is impressive.
Top that bucket in no time at all. And 12 points for Prince.
Slow rotation there defensively, and he gets a wide open look from mid-range.
And I'll tell you, you look up at the scoreboard, that's correct. They have a big lead for a reason.
And the basket by Jackson.
Well, you love Crowder's willingness to distribute the basketball. His vision allows him to set his teammates beautifully.
Baseline try, and it's LeVert missing.
I think this is a spot he has got to become more consistent from if you want to command the defender's respect.
Here's Brooks. He can't get that one. Some solid defense from Harris. Passes to Prince, all alone. Flushes it down to finish the break.
Well, you love the unselfish nature of Kyrie Irving. He understands it's his job to make the guys around him feel good and find them in their sweet spots.
Now here's Morant. 15 points in the game. Memphis moving that ball around. Second shot opportunity. The offensive rebound. The Nets have gone 7 of 10 on their field goal attempts here in the third. Irving. And again, it's Brooklyn converting.
Well, you love his effort level, right? Particularly when it's winning time. He is going for the finish.
Now here's Morant. D right on him. And the wide open shot from Crowder. Fires the jumper from the corner and nails it. Crowder's got his second bucket of the night.
Well, so quick off the pass. I mean, Crowder timing that shot perfectly, staying one step ahead of the defense.
And that one goes out of bounds. Last touched by Prince. And some changes here for the Grizzlies. Caboclo, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. And Grayson Allen subbed in for Dylan Brooks. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for the Nets. Allen surveying the D. Brooklyn with the rebound. Jordan's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Wing shot on the way. And it's LeVert missing.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
Allen for the 3. Rebounded by the Nets. Prince finds Harris all alone. And good that time. Harris has got 9 points. Memphis has gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Allen, that's good.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
One of the things I love about the Brooklyn Nets is the culture that's being created with this franchise. They are punching above their weight. There's no quit in this team. There is so much to like.
Here's Allen. After the basket by Brooklyn. Crowder from outside. Jordan with the rebound. Jordan's got 9 rebounds now tonight. Irving double teamed. And it's good, 2 points. Irving's got 39. And Doris, you talk about the resilience of this Nets team. How about their 25-point fourth quarter comeback last season against Sacramento?
Kev, they become only the 4th team to overcome that big a deficit in the shot clock era. This Nets team is not invincible, but I promise you they're going to make you work for every single thing you get.
Here's LeVert. Up and in on the layup. LeVert's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well, Karis LeVert giving you a glimpse into how high that vertical goes. That is nice.
Here's Crowder, and he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
Great chemistry between two teammates. Love the passing.
LeVert inside the line. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. 14 points for him. The Grizzlies shooting 42% from the field here in the third. Jackson misses.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
The shot's good from Irving.
They are trying to close this out strong, and he's the man who's put you in this position.
Allen passes to Morant. And then jammed down as he goes right over DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, that's fire right there. Morant practicing for the dunk contest. I see you, young fella.
And he comes up with the deuce. 16 points for Taurean Prince.
Well, overall, they're the team getting the better looks here in this second half.
And I think what's happening is they're getting their shots within the flow of their offense, and you can clearly see the difference.
Count it. Jackson's got 19 points.
Their interior has been inferior defensively. It has got to tighten up.
A nice shot by LeVert.
This guy is putting his fingerprints all over the game in this quarter. He has flat out dominated the offensive end.
Now here's Crowder. He's got 7. Another possession, another assist.
That makes 15 assists.
He's been one step ahead of the defense all game long. Prince misses. And so it's Jackson who brings it up for the Grizzlies. Morant passes to Allen. Three-pointer, Crowder, up again. Jordan with the rebound. Brooklyn in control. Lets it fly from 18. Rebounded by Caboclo. Caboclo's got his 4th rebound in this one. To the paint. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
You know, didn't need 2 hands for that slam. One will do just fine.
You're right. He can save the other hand for the next time. Offensive rebound and the dunk by Jordan.
What about the intensity? Go ahead, Mr. Jordan. We see you working out there.
Grizzlies shooting with confidence, 50% from the field so far. Jackson, and another assist.
Another possession, another assist.
You know, Greg, he's sharing the ball well, hitting his guys in their spots. Scooped up. Here's Jordan, and DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
When you think that this guy was so raw and so skinny coming into the league, now DeAndre Jordan brushing off these challenges with ease.
Now Morant, 17 points in the game. To the inside. How's that for an answer? Right back with the dunk.
Well, that possession to me highlights the importance of creating for your teammates.
From the wing, and that's Prince, that time on the assist by Irving. Prince has got 12 points in just the second half. Morant with it. To the middle. And the dunk by Jackson.
Well, I think you have to appreciate how Jay Crowder sees the floor. This guy is an unselfish player who wants to get his teammates involved. He really made that shot harder than it needed to be, and coach is not happy with that choice.
Here's Allen, and he banks in the layup. Allen's got 4 points this quarter.
Well, think about the Nets' Kenny Atkinson, a finalist last season for NBA Coach of the Year. This young coach got a well-deserved contract extension. And what I love is his team competes at a high level every night.
And so here's Memphis, following the bucket by the Nets. He dishes it to Jackson. Now here's Morant. He's covered by Irving. Allen's shot is off. And Doris, you think about how hard this Brooklyn team competes. I think they take right after their head coach.
I don't think there's any doubt, Kevin. Coach Atkinson is still willing to get on the court and jump into drills with his players. Let's remember, going back to the early days of his career, he was a player development coach. And before that, yes, he even played. That effort and willingness to break a sweat very much reflected in his group.
And how about that? What a sensational finish.
Hey, you got to be able to get some hang time to do that one. Timeout called the Nets.
And he could tell his guys starting to wear down a little bit. Call time to just let them get their legs back under them.
So both teams making some changes here. .44 seconds left in the third. Shot from 16. Dinwiddie's shot is off. The Grizzlies shooting it quite well in this third quarter, 53%, and the offense is rolling. It's good. Clark's got 6.
You got to know, this is Clark's skill set at this stage of his career. He takes quality shots when he's inside.
Grizzlies foul call. Number 22.
Valanciunas, he's checked in for Memphis.
First personal foul. Substitution for the Grizzlies. Jonas Valanciunas.
And Brooklyn has possession. Allen, that's good.
Impressive, really, from that short 17 area. They are not missing many.
Dinwiddie against Jones. Kicks to Anderson. Valanciunas inside. Good for his 8th field goal. He's attempted a dozen shots.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
And it's Karuch missing. Here's Clark. What a play! Simply drains it in at the buzzer.
And give him credit. Good awareness of the time remaining.
And to me, the way you end quarters impacts how you end the game. It can go a long way between a W or an L.
What a performance for Kyrie Irving. He has been the story for Brooklyn. His stat line has been terrific. As the quarter ends, he's already got a double-double. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, making the game easy for your teammates, Greg. All about putting them in a position to score. That's pretty.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. On the court for the Nets, getting the fourth quarter going, they've got Garrett Temple. He's out there with Spencer Dinwiddie. And it's Claxton in at center.
Boy, Spencer Dinwiddie does such a great job getting on balance and with his touch, off the dribble, easy work.
Doris, such an honor to be on this with you, and you were the first female to become a full-time NBA analyst, breaking new ground. You've accomplished so much in your life, personally, professionally. What would you tell young women who are graduating college, looking to get ahead in their career in what you've chosen?
Well, first and foremost, I've been very lucky, Kevin. The game of basketball has been a part of my life since I was 7. It's been a driving force. I love it. I would just tell young women, times are changing. Dream big. There's nothing that's impossible. And I'm so thankful to the NBA players and coaches who have just wrapped their arms around me from the time I entered this business. So kudos to those players who are part of the change, no question.
And hard work. I have seen you work. I have seen you prepare. No one prepares more. No one works harder than you.
Thanks, Kev.
Both good from the line that time. Replay is always a good topic to talk about. Any changes, Doris, you'd like to see in the system or in the process?
Well, one of the beautiful things you have in the league is the opportunity in both Summer League and then also in your development league is the opportunity to put things in place. For instance, a coach's challenge has been experimented with at both of those different levels. And now the coach's challenge will be adopted and employed in the NBA. So I'm anxious to see how that plays out.
Here's Jones following the bucket by the Nets. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
At the line for your Grizzlies, Tyus Jones. 2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And that one falls for Jones. Well, the Grizzlies' coaching search took 2 months, but they finally settled on Taylor Jenkins, a former assistant coach with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Jenkins, with an economics degree from Penn, fits the young academic profile of this Memphis front office. Worked for the Spurs 6 years as an assistant under Mike Budenholzer, who was the coach of the year in 2019. That pedigree helped him get the job.
And with the signing of Durant and Irving along with DeAndre Jordan, Greg, are the Brooklyn Nets now claiming the mantle for the top team in New York?
Listen, they were already the better team a season ago. After stealing the Knicks' thunder in free agency, acquiring the superstar talent, they're poised to steal the Knicks' cultural relevance as well.
Dinwiddie with the steal. Here's Claxton. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Well, they've won the battle of transition buckets, and those easy points have helped them build this lead.
Well, this is their pace. This is exactly how they want to play. A little fast, a little loose.
Hill, he's checked in for Clark. We're seeing some great shooters with length, tall players shooting from outside. That seems to be the rage right now, but when you look in your crystal ball, Doris, what might be the next player trend in the NBA?
So we saw the evolution of big men as three-point shooters, men being able to enter the league as sort of back to the basket, consistent rebounding forces out of the post, now stepping away and becoming threats as face-up scorers. To me, one of the most intriguing young players in the league right now is Nikola Jokic. Here's a 7-foot guy who is a tremendous playmaker. His instinct is to pass more than it is to score. So you wonder, is that the next evolution of big men? And then the other thing, Kevin, you are starting to see offensive rebounding went away as a focal point of teams in the NBA. You are starting to see teams go back after the offensive glass. Does that continue?
That second chance is a big statistic, isn't it?
It is.
And so here's Memphis, following the three-pointer by Brooklyn. 2 open that time, made it look too easy. 22 points for Valanciunas.
You know, he had room to operate, but added a little fade on that shot just for good measure. Listen, offensively, they're very comfortable with him taking that shot. It's a good look under very little pressure. He just can't convert.
Jones, no luck.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
And it's Kuruc missing.
Listen, he can make that shot right there, but I do know they have other options they can go to.
Floats one. Here's Valanciunas, and he makes good on the layup. Valanciunas has got 6 here in this quarter.
Well, I think, Kevin, this is something Jonas Valanciunas has hung his hat on, his ability to consistently get to the offensive window. Nicely done.
And here is Hill. Anderson outside. Melton feeling it out a bit. And Anderson gets it to go. And it's Dinwiddie with the ball. Bringing it up now for the Nets. Took him no time at all on that one.
Well, how about that floor awareness by Spencer Dinwiddie, getting his guys the basketball in great spots.
Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Outside Hill. Takes a 3. That one doesn't drop. So Brooklyn will take it the other way. Kuruc passes to Dinwiddie. Over Jones. And that one goes long. Memphis has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Hill has the open look. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
Boy, he won't miss many from that spot. The defense gets lucky there.
And Kyle Anderson gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. Doris, when you look at draft eligibility requirements, it is a very fluid topic with a lot of different ways it could go, a lot of moving parts. Where do you stand?
I'll tell you the truth, Kevin. I'm conflicted about this because I believe there is real value to the college experience. There's high-level coaching across the game at the collegiate level, but I also believe that young men who have talent should be able to, when they are eligible, decide when they want to become professionals. So, listen, I'm sort of in the middle. There are legitimate arguments to be had for both sides. What I hope, regardless, is we get the best players in the league, and that's certainly going to happen whenever it happens.
And that one drops for him. And it's now 26 points for Valanciunas.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range. You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
Musa, he's checked in for Garrett Temple. Here's Dinwiddie. Off the inbound. It's rebounded by Memphis. Valanciunas is... Here's Melton. That's tipped. Pass to Dinwiddie. 14 feet away. They get it back. Kuruc. And oh, here we go. Brooks got it. The fast break chance. And the Grizzlies tack on 2 more.
And what started it all, terrific anticipation on the defensive end.
And that's exactly how you get yourself into transition. The gamble pays off.
The Grizzlies have gone 7 of 11 from the floor in the final quarter so far. Been some solid looks for them. Here's Anderson. Good for another basket. He's put up 10 shots and made 7 of them.
And every once in a while, he'll show up and give you some great moves around the hoop.
Now a timeout call by Brooklyn.
I think DeAnthony Melton deserves a ton of credit. Point guard is probably the toughest position in the league. And you couple that with the fact that this guy played in the West, he more than held his own.
Caboclo's checked in for Kyle Anderson. And a change for the Nets. Vincent's checked in. Brooklyn's gone 3 of 3 from three-point land here tonight. And although Melton may not have proven he deserves a starting role, Doris, he did show his value as a player.
I think what Melton showed is that he has the ability to stay composed and play quality defense, even as a backup option at the point. That's all you can ask for. You want him to earn rotation minutes, and he did.
Here's Caboclo. No good with the triple.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
And he makes that one.
That's 10 straight off of the mid-range.
The Grizzlies have gone 8 of 13 from the field since the start of the fourth, sinking the majority of their shots. Here's Melton. Dinwiddie covering. Valanciunas trying to free himself up, and that basket is in from Caboclo.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
It takes incredible effort to stay connected to the hip of the offensive player. You've got to want to work. How about the timing? Can be the difference between an assist and a turnover. Nice delivery.
Melton passes to Hill. And here's Valanciunas. Now the pass to Caboclo. Valanciunas, good. Valanciunas has got 16 points here in the second half.
Well, individually, he is doing everything he can in this 12-minute session, but he's just not getting enough help.
And this is what dominating the glass looks like. He just cannot be contained.
Wow, what a performance. And he's not just winning with physical ability, he's winning with anticipation.
Hands it from downtown. That's 7 points for Brooks.
I'll tell you, you are playing with fire anytime you leave this guy open, and they just got burned.
Musa. And the layup falls.
Boy, you have to be cognizant of where people are when the shot goes up. Defenders not blocking out in that instance.
Valanciunas dishes to Hill. Doris, we know historically the Celtics, the only franchise to ever have a four-peat, 4 straight championships. Do you think at some point we're going to see another?
I'm not sure there can be in today's NBA, Kevin, and there are a number of different contributing factors. Number one, the salary cap implications that happen. Number two, look at the Golden State Warriors, who were well positioned for a three-peat. And yet, as you know, luck plays a small part in an NBA championship, luck relative to injuries. You see Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant both get lost in the midst of an NBA Finals. This is it's challenging enough to go back-to-back. Forget about four-peat.
He hits the second from the line. Of course, you and I were just talking about something Commissioner Silver said the other day about a proposed mid-season tournament. What do you think?
Well, I certainly think if they do move to a mid-season tournament, it's going to have real value for it to matter. To get the fans engaged, something has to be on the line. So, number one, you're going to have 2 goals. Instead of 1 championship, maybe you want to win that mid-season tournament too.
Good on the shot.
The defense making it way too easy for him on that jump shot. He'll take that all night.
Memphis has gone 2 of 5 on 3-point shots since the end of the third quarter. Shot by Caboclo, no good.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yep, that one goes.
Boy, Spencer Dinwiddie, it's a rare opportunity in the mid-range, but he's got the kind of touch necessary to make it.
Outside Hill. Here's something kind of interesting. There's been a lot of talk about moving the draft to after free agency. What would that look like?
Well, I think talent is always going to be at a premium. So I would think if there's a guy that's the absolute definitive number 1 pick, he's going number 1 regardless of roster construction. But the reality is it might help those teams who maybe if they know who's on the roster, it might change the kind of draft selection they would make. So it's an interesting supposition. We'll see if the NBA moves in that direction.
Here's Caboclo, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Caboclo's got 6 in the quarter.
Well, what a job. Punching the ball to the interior and finishing in the paint. Nice.
Wasted no time on that one.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
The Grizzlies shooting has been just great so far, up at 56%. Pass to Valanciunas. Down low. And that basket is in from Caboclo. Caboclo's got 12 points in just the second half. Here's Dinwiddie. And it's Melton with the rebound. And here's Melton. He'll bring it up for the Memphis Grizzlies. The three drops in the tray. Melton's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
Well, the defense daring him to shoot, and he makes them pay for their disrespect.
Here's Claxton. That shot is off. And the Grizzlies going the other way now. Brooks, the pass to Caboclo. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Of course, in basketball, like many sports, you can call some kind of penalty on almost every play. So with that in mind, where do we draw that line?
I would say that most coaches and most players would say as long as there's consistency with officiating, they can adapt to the way the game is being called. As fans, as broadcasters, what we want to see, we want to see the game remain free-flowing, fluid, pretty, the ability to move and cut and not be impeded in your progress. That's what I want to see.
And we see that most nights.
No doubt.
And the first one at the line is good. And so he hits both. Brooklyn leading by 23. Here's Dinwiddie. And that one's on target from the wing.
Well, continuing to show confidence in that jumper. Spencer Dinwiddie looking comfortable.
Outside Hill. 1:25 left to play in the final quarter. Shot clock at 6. The dish now to Valanciunas. Brooks kicks to Hill. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. And that's now 6 points for Hill.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Brooklyn.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Kyrie Irving.
This guy has been shot-making all night long. He commands the rock and takes over.
Pass to Musa. Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. And here are the Grizzlies now. They're on a 19-6 run. And Brooks gets it to go.
You can appreciate the fight now, but it isn't how they came into the game.
No doubt. It felt like they were a little tight for much of the evening. Now they're in a better flow, but it may be too little too late.
Timeout called, the Nets. They're ahead by 14. 19 seconds left to play here in the fourth. What do you think, guys?
And they've got this one just about wrapped up.
It's not completely over, and they know that. But if they carry out their game plan, they should be golden.
They was sleeping on that boy like it. I make everybody fall off. Handle life all black like I'm Batman. Dribble too much, ooh, who is that, man? Put your name and your ankles on a hashtag. This too easy, it's like shooting on a trash can. Ooh.
Watch. Shoot this boy from anywhere, I swear I have no conscience. Hit you with that, yeah, drop you, pull up, and I pop. Always hit the target, bro, this wrist got infrared. Ankle bully, Brooklyn doctors, please come wrap his leg. This breakfast in bed, yeah, every day like what? Eases on me, tough like this thing go soon, I see.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kyrie Irving.
And Kevin, it's a no-brainer. He's controlled every aspect of this game, and it's just so fun to see a player perform at a level that's just higher than anyone else out on the floor.
And as the star of this team, he knows he's going to be the object of the crowd's anger. Here's Pinson. Valanciunas grabs the board. Allen for three. Karuch grabs the board. Here's Pinson. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Well, they knew it would be a hostile environment, and they rose to the challenge.
And sometimes, Greg, when everyone's rooting against you, it seems to bring the unit closer together. It certainly did tonight.
And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. With Kyrie Irving, it's early in the season, so what's the most important thing to getting off on the right foot?
Great days of practice, honestly, and being prepared. Always communicating and trusting each other. That's going to be the biggest word for us this year is trust. Like I said, consistency and trust.
We will see. It's a long season if you can get that done, Kyrie. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.